Hello foreign medical students, welcome to my YouTube channel. The pandemic COVID-19 had caused unprecedented disturbance in medical education and health system worldwide. So many universities in foreign countries shut their doors and Indian students are unable to pursue their studies due to travel restrictions and other situations. Amid this, an article is published in the today's Times of India under the title Medical Students Enrolled in China Hope to Get Back to Universities Soon. China will allow entry on a need assessed basis, which may not be a total relief for the students. A chronological order of orders released previously by the National Medical Commission is brought to notice. That is, on 8/2/2022, NMC has issued an advisory stating that it does not recognize or approve medical courses done only by online mode. Secondly, students are advised to exercise due diligence in choosing where to pursue medical education. This is the circular issued on 8th February 2022. Another circular dated 4/3/2022 has been issued by the NMC, which contains the guidelines for registration of foreign medical graduates. See, this is the circular on 4/3/2022. In the meantime, the Supreme Court of India directs National Medical Commission to frame scheme for foreign medical students by pandemic to undergo clinical training in India. The judgment was released on April 29, 2022. In a massive relief to Indian medical students who have returned from foreign countries like China and Ukraine, the Supreme Court on Friday 29 stated that these students will be allowed to get their provisional registration and also directed the NMC to draft a framework for these students to complete their practical training in India. The Apex Court was hearing an appeal of the NMC against an order of the Madras High Court asking it to allow provisional registration of an MBBS graduate of a Chinese university. As this verdict came along, the court opined that there was nothing wrong in denying the provisional registration, as without practical training, there cannot be any doctor who is expected to take care of the citizens of the country. The Supreme Court also added that the talents of such students should not go waste and should be used to augment health infrastructure in the country, as reported in PTI. It mentioned that for this to happen, it would be necessary that the students undergo actual clinic training of such duration and at such institutes which are identified by the NMC and on such terms and conditions, including the charges for imparting such training as may be notified by the medical body. The court took this decision after taking note of the plea filed by a student who could not complete the clinical training physically at the Chinese institute. This case was heard by a bench which took note of the question of whether the degree granted by a foreign institute, even in respect of clinical training, is binding on the NMC and if the student could be provisionally registered. After all considerations, the SC came up with an 18-page verdict that directed the NMC and the MCI to test the returnee students in any manner deemed appropriate by them to check that they were sufficiently qualified for the provisional registration in order to complete a year's internship in India. This is the judgment came on 29/4/2022, passed by the Supreme Court of India. In today's Times of India, medical students enrolled in China hope to get back to universities soon. China's decision to allow Indian students to return to the colleges to pursue classes in physical mode has come as a breather. However, India has to play a massive role as the permission will be need-based. Not everyone will be allowed back immediately and no set time has been given, so the wait will not end anytime soon. The announcement is a glimmer of hope for more than 23,000 students stuck in India since March 2020, but the uncertain situation is far from over. Students enrolled in medical universities in China are suffering more because of political issues, said ADG Medical Education Ministry of Health. While speaking to the Education Times, while China had been allowing students from other countries to attend physical classes, they had been curbing Indian students from flying into the country. Meanwhile, the students had also been demanding to continue their practical training in the Indian medical colleges. In the past, they had staged a mass protest in Delhi demanding a solution to continue their physical training here. Regarding this demand of the students, it said, every medical college is run by its rules and regulations. Allowing these students to pursue their practical training in India will disturb the student-teacher ratio. The National Medical Commission needs to make amendments on this and address students' problems. While we are stuck here for the past 2 years, China has allowed students from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Russia, and Indonesia to study in China. Due to this, few students have taken a transfer in other countries, but for most of us, the uncertainty continues. Around 5% of students have taken admission in the medical colleges of Armenia, Georgia. We have not received any guidelines from the NMC on whether such degrees will be considered valid or not. So, 95% of students are just waiting to get back to China and resume physical classes, says a student enrolled in the Shandong Medical University, China. We are around 23,000 medical students who are stuck in India since March 2020. Medicine cannot be studied online as the students need to engage in the lab work, practical and assist patients and doctors for more exposure, says a third-year medical student in China. Moreover, the students who will be graduating this year and next upcoming year have a great wall in front of them. They will be forced to sit idle at home. We are requesting the government to either ensure our return as soon as possible or arrange our practical in India so that NMC recognizes our degree. As per NMC direction, the medical degree will have no value if the entire duration is pursued via online mode. We are in great fear of our degree cancelled, he says. This is the article today published in the Times of India.